Good afternoon. Will the Standing Committee on Justice please come to order? Before the committee can proceed with the business before it, it must elect a new chairperson. Are there any nominations for this position? Ms. Gordon?
I nominate the member for Rossmere.
Mr. Micklefield has been nominated. Are there any other nominations? Hearing no other nominations, Mr. Micklefield, will you please take the chair?
Our next item of business is the election of a new vice chairperson. Are there any nominations? Mr. Cullen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I nominate Ms. Gordon.
Ms. Gordon has been nominated. Are there any other nominations? Hearing no other nominations, Ms. Gordon is elected vice chairperson. This meeting has been called to consider Bill number 9, the Opioid Damages and Healthcare Costs Recovery Act. We have no registered presenters to this bill. We will now proceed with clause by clause of Bill 9. Does the minister responsible for Bill 9 have an opening statement? Minister Cullen.
Mr. Chair, just briefly, I'm pleased to have introduced this legislation which will allow Manitoba to join a class action lawsuit that was launched by British Columbia in 2018. This lawsuit aims to hold to account opioid manufacturers whose products have had and continue to have damaging effects on the health and well-being of Manitobans. Once passed, Manitoba would join British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Ontario, Newfoundland and Labrador, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick in pursuing action against the opioid industry. This builds on our government's investments in expanding the continuum of care for mental health and addictions related challenges in our province, and aligns with recommendations of a number of reports, including Virgo, the Illicit Drug Task Force, and the Community Wellness and Public Safety Alliance report. I look forward to the support of the committee and the House in having this bill passed so that we can take on pharmaceutical companies that have created such a significant and ongoing harm to Manitobans. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
We thank the minister. Does the critic from the official opposition have an opening statement? During the consideration of a bill, the enacting clause and title are postponed until all other clauses have been considered in their proper order. Also, if there is agreement from the committee, the chair will call clauses in blocks that conform to pages, with the understanding that we will stop at any particular clause or clauses where members may have comments, questions, or amendments to propose. Is that agreed? I now invite all virtual committee members to unmute themselves so that their responses to the question can be heard. As a reminder to all, the members of this committee are myself, Honourable Mr. Cullen, Ms. Fontaine, Ms. Gordon, Mrs. Smith, Point Douglas, and Honourable Mrs. Stephenson. Shall Clause 1 pass?
Pass.
Clause 1 is accordingly passed. Shall Clause 2 pass?
Pass.
Clause 2 is accordingly passed. Shall Clause 3 pass?
Pass.
Clause 3 is accordingly passed. Shall Clause 4 pass?
Pass.
Clause 4 is accordingly passed. Shall Clause 5 pass?
Pass.
Clause 5 is accordingly passed. Shall Clauses 6 and 7 pass?
Pass.
Clauses 6 and 7 are accordingly passed. Shall Clause 8 pass?
Pass.
Clause 8 is accordingly passed. Shall Clauses 9 through 11 pass?
Pass.
Clauses 9 through 11 are accordingly passed. Shall Clauses 12 and 13 pass?
Pass.
Clauses 12 and 13 are accordingly passed. Shall Clauses 14 and 15 pass?
Pass.
Clauses 14 and 15 are accordingly passed. Shall the schedule pass?
Pass.
The schedule is accordingly passed. Shall the enacting clause pass?
Pass.
The enacting clause is accordingly passed. Shall the title pass?
Pass.
The title is accordingly passed. Shall the bill be reported?
Agreed.
Agreed. The bill shall be reported. The hour being 5:35, what is the will of the committee? Committee rise.